Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Pisces Risings. My name is Mick Collins with Tree Consulting, and I practice traditional Western astrology. Thank you for being here. If you were here from Patreon, thank you for your extra coins for joining the early setup. Um, or the early access. If you are over at YouTube, thank you for being here. Please click like and subscribe as it'll help my channel grow. And that is one of my goals for 2024. If you have a little extra that you can send my way, and you don't have enough to be able to get a reading with me, I'd really appreciate it because it's going towards my nonprofit organization, which is still in its developmental stages. And it is to provide free special education advocacy for students and families who need it. Let's hop into what February has in store for you. So on Monday, February 5th, we have Mercury entering into Aquarius. Now, today is January 18th. On the 15th of January, Mercury moved out of its shadow period. So everything from here on until it hits its next shadow period for the next retrograde cycle is going to be all new information from Mercury. Mercury is flying through all the signs as of right now, and he's only going to spend about 2.5 weeks in Aquarius until the 23rd when he goes into Pisces. And for you, Pisces risings, are you discussing plans with your therapist about how to better establish relationships with siblings? Are you having aha moments about your mental health? Both are definitely a possibility right now. When it comes to Friday, the 9th, we have the Aquarius new moon in your 12th house. And did you find a new way to improve your mental health that might be unconventional? Maybe don't shout it from the rooftops unless you want friction with siblings. Okay. Um, on Tuesday, February 13th, we have Mars entering Aquarius. He's there until March 22nd. Be mindful of that new mental health strategy burning through your emotional values because those new boundaries might not be in your favor or you physically can't follow through. Take some breathing exercises to gain a better perspective. And I apologize if it seems like I'm reading because I am. I am reading because I do all of my research with all of my books and then I write things out. Um, my memory is horrible and I can't just sit and talk about things because I space out. And I lose my words. On Know that Valentine's Day, the 14th, is a meetup with Mars and Pluto exactly. And so, in your 12th house, I don't know what that's unearthing for you in the mental health or health realm. Um, just be aware that that is something that's happening. I don't really concentrate on the outer planets so much. I tend to stick with the traditional seven planets because that is something I feel comfortable doing. I don't know enough. I have not studied Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus enough to be able to confidently say anything about them. Um, on Friday, the 16th, Venus enters Aquarius. Um, and so having a new and healthier inner dialogue about yourself is important while you battle your fears about who you are and what you're about. This is a non-linear process. All right, good. So here's the thing about non-linear processes and when it comes to your mental health. You can think that you are on the straight and narrow and you're like headed towards progress. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a little thing will happen that will bring up grief and sadness and sorrow. Like you might be doing one thing and then you're like, oh, that reminds me of how so and so did it. And that person has passed away. And then you're sad. And then you've got to work back up to being in a more positive frame of mind. Okay. That's normal. It's normal. Nothing that we go through emotionally is like, I'm not good and then I am good. And then you just stay here. That's not how that works. It's ebbs and it's flows. It's like the ocean. It comes in and it leaves and it comes in and it leaves. There's high tide, there's low tide. Okay. And when it comes to that kind of situation, Pisces risings, you should know that instead of fighting against it, right, when there's a current, you have to swim diagonally when there's a current, or you have to get on your back and float. Those are your two options. But fighting it like swimming head on when there's an undercurrent, you're wasting your energy. Okay. Just throwing that out there. On Sunday, February 18th, the sun is entering Pisces. So this is into your first house. If you have the sun in Pisces, happy birthday. But Pisces risings, this is going to be a focus on your first house of self. There's a good chance of you becoming selfish, though. So it's not all about you. Just throwing that out there. Um, and it's not in a good way. There's there's times to be selfish because other people are like walking all over you, and then there's times where you're like selfish, and that's not nobody wants to be around that. Okay. Um, you've been working on combating your fears with Saturn being in your first house for a while now. Don't let your problems be the burden of your family. Don't isolate. Spend time with your family and your kids if you have them. If no kids, then spend time enjoying your hobbies, okay? Or having physical relations with someone. Um, on February 23rd, which is a Friday, Mercury also enters Pisces in the first house. So this is like it's different for you. And I'm saying this because it's kind of a mixed bag. Mercury doesn't like being in Pisces because it's considered fallen, it doesn't have as much power. Also, the sun, Mercury is very close to the sun right now, so it's considered combust, which means it's definitely not having as much power as it usually has. It's kind of burnt up, um, like whoever that Greek character was that like flew too close to the sun and then his wings melted and he fell. Um, but Mercury also enjoys being in the first house. So for you all, it might not be as detrimental as it is for the rest of us who have Mercury not in the first house. For the rest of us, it's going to feel like being stuck in a podcast bro episode that we don't want to listen to. For y'all, it's going to be a little bit different. And so Mercury might find its joy in this first house, but it's no matter how good you think things might sound in your head, they're not going to be landing the way that you think they're landing. Um, it's insensitive. Like you're, you know how my mom does this thing to me, which drives me and my sister absolutely insane. Like whenever we'll say that something like the poop has hit the fan, she's like, "This too shall pass." It's like that means nothing. That means yeah, I know you're trying to help, but it doesn't actually help, and it makes me really mad. So like she thinks she's helping, but she's not. Because it's insensitive. Like it's kind of like when you give an apology and instead of actually apologizing for what you've done wrong, you say, "Well, I'm sorry if what I said made you feel." No. The correct apology is, "I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. What I did hurt you, and I'm sorry, and I won't do it again." Okay. Um, those fake apologies are like, I'm sorry if what I said or if what I did. No, I'm sorry I did that thing that hurt you. That's how that goes. But this Mercury in Pisces season, you can have that possibility of being the person who seems inauthentic in their apology, if that makes sense. No matter how golden retriever your energy is right now, it's not going to land the way you think it's going to land. On Saturday the 24th, we have the last big transit of the month, and that is the Virgo full moon. And for you, Pisces, don't let your partner off the hook for over um over exaggerating what they can do for you. However, don't go tearing them to shreds about it either. Okay. You can put your foot down and be like, no, you overpromised and underdelivered, and I'm upset about it, and I'm rightfully allowed to be upset about it. But ripping them to shreds isn't gonna do you any favors after, especially after Mercury moves out of Pisces and goes into Aries on March 9th. That happy-go-lucky vibe, golden retriever vibe, kind of moves on real fast. Um, for them too, especially if you have like a Virgo rising partner, because yeah, that's the opposite of you guys. Anyway, that is it for the month of February. March's stuff will be up for early release on March 3rd or February 13th, and it'll be up for the public on the 26th. And if you have a couple extra coins to spare and you want to head over to my Venmo or Ko-fi/coffee, I would really appreciate that. If you're here at YouTube, if you could hit click like or subscribe, that would also help. I will try desperately to have better video quality for the next month. I'm still trying to figure out tech. It is not my forte. Also, I'm old, so filming myself is very weird for me when it comes to this kind of stuff. Um, thank you for being here, and remember that you are worthy of all the good things headed your way. Bye.